Alright, you guys, so it is now the next month. It's August, so we're doing Steampunk. I know, this isn't the cat. I started this before we started the Steampunk stuff, but it is Steampunk related, and no, you guys have not seen this canvas yet. So, anyway, I am going to work on it because I'd like to get this area done, and then I'll start my cat that I'm working on for Steampunk. And I probably can get both of these done because this is just a 40 by 40, but I don't know, we'll see what happens, right? So anyway, I have had quite the last few days. Just to go into it, simply health issues with hospitalized family member, and no, not my mom. But yeah, that's fun, and it has more than just that involved in it. It's probably gonna be another big mess. So I've had fun. Did I tell you the fridge stopped working again, and I still haven't heard back from the repair guy, so I'm working with that too. There was like a few days ago for the hospitalization thingy with the family member, because that day was the day after this day I'm going to tell you about, and it's been a few days now. So the day before that was also a fun one. We had a bunch of running to do, and when I say a bunch, I mean we stopped at 12 different places. And that was finding out that Joann's no longer carries diamond dots. Like, they have some paintings. I don't know if they're going to restock them when they're out of them, though, because they seem to have moved them to just like a random little shelf. So I don't know if they're going to continue carrying diamond paintings. But they don't carry the individual drills anymore. So we can't go buy colors and compare colors and change colors like that anymore, which really sucks. And we tried 2 Joann's, and I heard from a friend that doesn't live around here that the same thing's going on over at her Joann's. So, like, Joann's as a whole apparently has gotten rid of their diamond dots, the drills. So that's annoying to us because we liked to go up there to buy colors we were missing or colors we wanted to change, and then we could compare it to our painting, compare it to the colors we had, and, like, we like that. So, yeah, that's a little annoying. So that was that was 2 of the 12 stops that didn't have what we wanted. Stopped at another place, also didn't have what we wanted. Like, so it was one of those days where nothing really went wrong, but nothing was going right. We were like in the car driving all day, used quite a bit of gas up, and couldn't get what we wanted for most of it. So that was a little annoying. And then, like I said, after that was family member medical accident issue, unsolved hospitalization-y stuff that we'll have to wait and see what happens, because I don't even quite know how everything's going to go with that. So, all that being said, fun, I decided to be bad, and it's not gonna get here in time for this, I know that, but I had a custom steampunk lady made. I'm like, screw this, I'm going to order her. Like, I probably shouldn't spend the money on her, but like, I want her. So I had a custom steampunk lady made, and I'll show her to you when I get her. Supposedly she'll be here between 5 and 22 days. So I'm supposed to have her before the end of this month, apparently. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what that company does, if it's double-sided or poured glue, and how she looks. And it was a Temu custom company I ordered her from. So we'll see what happens. And I ordered a big one. Bigger than I actually care to, but it's what I decided to order because it was the size of the painting instead of cropping it. Or I cropped it a bit, but anyway, instead of trying to crop it more. I've liked the 50 by 100s lately. Like, They have some good detail. They're not too much different than my 40 by 70s, really, in my opinion. Are they? Like, maybe they are. But I've been liking my 50 by 100s, and I was going to get her in a 50 by 100, and then when I resized her, it's like, oh, hey, she fits in a 60 by 100. Oh, hey, they offer a 60 by 100. I'm going to get her in a 60 by 100. So, I have a big girl coming. She's 60 by 100, and I don't like going over 40, 45, and I'm going 60. Gurmy, but it was only like a buck or two different between that and the 50 by 100, and I'm just like, I'm not cropping her to 50 by 100. I'm just going to send her in as a 60 by 100, because I wanted her by 100. So, being the 10 centimeter wider, hopefully is not a horrible thing, but I wanted to try the company out because they seemed like they had decent prices, and I wanted to see their custom canvases, and I like this lady, so I wanted to get her done in a custom. I just forgot I made her and wanted her done until it was too late to actually get her, and then it's like, oh well, I guess I won't get her made. And then I saw the company, I'm like, all right, everything's going on, it's crazy, I want some time, I want to do something, so let's let's order this girl. Why not? Let's do it. Bad me. So yeah, there's a fun little quick update for you guys. So anyway, like I said, Steampunk. You guys working on something fun? This one is an envelope. Let's see. So you have the top of the envelope here, and then the bottom of the envelope there with the gears and like the heart there in the center that you kind of, I guess, would probably close this top into. So it's kind of a cool painting. No, I did not show it to you. I got it in the mail. Tried to iron it flat. First time I've ever ironed a painting flat to work on it without putting underweight. This has never been underweight. It's strictly been ironed and thrown on the board to work on. I have ironed a few paintings in the past, but this is the first time I've ever done that instead of weighing a painting down. Last ones I ironed were bent in half, and even after weighing them down, the bend never came out. Even after putting drills on one, the bend still was right down the center, and I could see it. So ironing it made the canvas not keep falling on that bend constantly, but I still see the bend, which is why I hate canvases being bent in half. I much prefer rolled, because if they get a little crimped, it's not as bad as being fully bent in half. Like, that's horrible. So alright, what are we working on now? So I did this a little differently again. I'm going to turn the lights on for you. Or the flash. I made the cards. They have the symbol on here, the DMC, and the canvas code on the back. So I'm putting one of these in my containers as I use them. Hang on. So I'm picking a bag. Like, I started with color 21. I slid that into the bag, and then I put the bag in here. Then I did bag 10, which is the C, and put it in there. Then I did bag 1, which is the I, and put it in there. Bag 15, bag 14, bag 9, bag 17, bag 12. So now I think I'm gonna do the number 8 if I can find it, because these are not in order. Like, maybe they were in order one time, but as you can see, 5, 7, 6 is there, 13 is there, but 2 is there. So I don't think they were in order, but either way, I'm kind of going through this, finding the color I want to use, finding the tag I made for it. I don't see 8. I might not have made 8. Did I skip one? I might have skipped one when I made these. Okay, so yeah, I go to show you and I start doing something stupid. But anyway, yeah, I'm grabbing a bag, then I'm grabbing the tag, pouring the drills in my boat, putting the tag in the bag, and just repeating that step as I go. So I gotta make a bag real quick. These are just like cheap business cardy things I got off of Temu. I don't remember what they were called or anything. I think they're like blank business cards or something. They're really thin though. They are not, you know, they're not that thick. I'd say they're a little thinner than index cards, honestly. They're not quite the same width as the bags I use either, but I mean, like, you can see they fit this way, and they are too tall for the bags I use, so I have to cut the bottoms off. Of course, I start doing this, so the dog's like, "Hey, let's whine." Let's not. He's sad. He's so sad, aren't you, buddy? Oh, whine. Alright, that's made. And I guess I'm gonna go let the baby have his way. You know, they say to ignore the dog, and the dog will eventually get the idea that whining isn't gonna get him out of his kennel or get him attention. It doesn't work with this boy. You ignore him, he just keeps doing it. They tell you to ignore him, and they'll realize that just because you whine doesn't mean you'll do anything with him. It doesn't work with this guy. It really doesn't. So I'll be right back. Alright, so he's out. Cool. Why'd I pause you guys yet? I have to reply to a comment real quick. Sorry. Turning that off. Pausing. Alrighty, sorry about that. So, dog's out. Back to diamond painting. The having to reply was to do with the whole crazy drama messed upness going on that I was just slightly telling you about without telling you about, because I also don't really know as much details as I'd like to know about it, so. Alright. Now the one I'm doing right now has very little of the color because we're just doing these little ones in here, so this is going to be really quick to do this color. That's part of why I picked it though. It's like, well, let's do this really quick one. And then these letters I already did, but didn't realize they were in the circle, I guess. Or maybe I had that circle covered at that point. Because I started with these cover sheets in here. I literally put them at a diagonal like this around here so I could do all the background first. And then I took them off because some of the background was in here, kind of replaced them in different ways to get to where the background was. So I maybe just missed those because that's where a cover sheet was when I was putting my hand on this. Or I missed them because I just overlooked them. So anyway, hopefully you guys are having a better last few days than I have, because that would be nice. And hopefully have you working on a steampunk with me have fun with your canvas. I am very interested to see what the kitty cat's going to turn out like, and then what the other cat looks like would be interesting too. So I already know what one looks like because I know Queen had one from a third company. So there's at least 3 companies that sell that cat. And also, talking about that cat and that at least 3 companies have it, there's actually a 4th company that has it in a 50 by 100. I was so tempted when I noticed that. It's like, ooh, I should get it in a 50 by 100 and do it in a 50 by 100. Obviously, I noticed that recently, so it would not have been here in time, and I'm not going to start a 50 by 100 later in the month. So I don't know. I may still also get the 50 by 100 of it because I do really like the cat. Like, the image is nice. Hopefully it looks good done. And if this one doesn't look good done or does look good done, that still doesn't change. May I do the 50 by 100 of it too? Maybe, right? So we got a set of cards here to deal with. Oh, and then there's one of those numbers I just put away. Oh, there's 2 more. So the other fun thing with working out of a bag, just like working out of a bottle with a larger lid, you can just stab a drill. And I stabbed that one upside down, but that's okay because I have enough room to flip it over here. So, yeah. I don't like that I keep overlooking drills. But, oh well, not that big a deal, right? Like, we all overlook drills. The fun part is I normally see a few that I overlooked the second I close the bag up. like just there. I put those ones I noticed, and I close the bag up, and as I'm closing the bag up, it's like, oh, hey, they're over here too. Which this side I have a little bit covered because it doesn't fully fit on the light pad, so I could have just left those ones and did it when I open the last little bit next to it. But oh well, we're good, we're done. I think I know what I'm gonna do next. And no, I do not go in number order. I go in visual order. Like, this stands out the most because it's yellow, or this obviously stood out the most because it was all one color, all in the black background there. Just get that done and out of the way. And then there was a color here that stood out a lot, and then these colors stood out more. And then, you know, those were just a few, and they were easy enough to see. Like, that's how I work on my canvas. Is it weird? Probably. I don't know of many people that do that. Most people seem like they go in like order of some sort, and I just go, my eyes seem to like this number symbol letter right now. My mom just goes, oh, this is the bag I grabbed out, so this is what I'm going to work on. Whatever works for you. That's the fun thing about diamond painting. And again, I have to say this again, I don't like rules. I don't like timelines. I don't like putting any form of stress on something that's supposed to be stress relieving. We do this to get away from shit, not to cause more, right? So, yes, I'm doing like an event every month, and so therefore, yeah, I'm trying to move on from one to another per month, but like for me, a 40 by 70 a month is normally pretty easy. Like, again, one of the ones I did, I got the 40 by 70 done in the first half of the month, and then I just didn't diamond paint much for the second half, where I could have done at least two 40 by 70s. I did that 50 by 70 or something, and again, that took me well under a month, and that's not working on every day. That's just working on it, you know. So to me, that's okay. I understand a lot of other people, you know, have different time they're allowed to put into diamond painting, physically, work, mentally, whatever it is. So yeah, you guys maybe can't do as big a canvas in that time frame, or maybe you can't even do a small canvas in that time frame. I get it, and that's why I have no dates on stuff. If you start working on this canvas and you're working on it with us, you can send update photos at the end of the month, and I'll show how far you got if you'd like. And then if you get done with it in a few months, if you want to send me the finish, I can always show that then too, or you know, whatever. But either way, don't be stressed out if you don't get your painting done, and don't be like there's an issue that, you know, or I didn't do this, because no, you're not trying to do this fast enough. You're not trying to get it done because you do it because you want to do it, which means if you don't like steampunk, don't work on a steampunk with us. Just do your own diamond painting. Or if you like doing paintings with somebody else, do another YouTuber's painting, do a painting with a friend or a family, or, you know, just like, you got to enjoy it. Please don't like make it become a, oh, well, this is what we got to do this month, or oh, this is, you know, the time limit to do it, or like, don't do that to yourself. Just don't do it to yourself. So, same with watching videos. Don't feel like, oh, I need to watch a video. It's like, I like watching my friends' videos, and it's like, I'm behind on them. I want to catch up. I should catch up, but like, if I don't want to watch them right now, then I'm not going to watch them right now. And then if I do watch them, and it's like, oh, I should have commented on that, but I didn't get to comment, then I just kind of, sometimes it's like, okay, I'll go back and comment. Other times it's like, well, now I'm already on this video, and which part was which video, and not, screw it, I'm just not leaving a comment. So, like, it's nice to know that people are watching and what they think, so leaving a comment is nice, obviously, but, like, again, don't stress about stuff, especially when it's stuff that you're doing to de-stress. I mean, if you got a job you're doing, okay, stress over the details if you know, want to, or if you think you need to. Make sure it's right, like, cool. But, like, this is your personal time, your enjoyment. When that becomes stressful, you lose the whole reason you're doing it. If you start doing this because, oh, I need to do this, it is no longer a stress relief. It is now just another task. And what are you now doing for stress relief? Don't let your don't let your stress relief become a task. I'm sorry that I'm going on about that. I've just had, those thoughts, and I've said it before, but like I had those thoughts recently again, and had some conversations. Wow, I can't speak right now. Had some conversations with a few people that have said, and yes, it's been more than one person I've talked to about this, have said something that sounds like, and maybe they didn't mean it in this way, because like we didn't like full on discuss it. It was like a comment of time passing, or things not finished, or things wanted to get done, couldn't start, or couldn't, so like maybe they didn't quite mean it that way, but like, again, since I had that, and that's the way my brain went on that subject, I just want to reinforce, you do this for fun, you do this to calm down, maybe not for fun, but maybe it's relaxing. Like, I don't know, is relaxing fun, or those kind of different things? To me, fun is more energetic, I guess, so to me it's not necessarily, I'd call it fun, it's just like relaxing and distracting and stuff. So I don't know, whichever word you want to put to it. You don't do this to create something to worry about or stress about or anything. And then if you're working on a cheaper painting like this, if something happens to it, well, you put a lot of work into it still, so that kind of sucks, but it's like, try stuff out, have fun with it. If it doesn't look good, then it doesn't look good. At least you tried, right? Like, at least you had an interest in trying, at least you saw what happened, and you enjoyed what you were trying, hopefully, or, like trying skin tones and fur tones and changing stuff like that. You got to try it a few times, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. But if you have the interest in trying it, I don't think personally you can ruin your painting unless it already looked good, and then you wouldn't be wanting to try to change something on it, would you? And also, if it's a cheaper Temu painting or something, why not buy a second one then, if you really wanted the image the way it was, but you also want to fiddle with it? Like, again, though, maybe you don't have time to work on the same image twice. Again, all of that just trying to say, don't let this become stressful. Don't let it become a job or a task that you feel like you need to do. Like, unless it is actually a job for you. I don't know if anybody diamond paints for, like, a job to sell their diamond painting and stuff, like, but to me, this is something to do to get away from stuff. Some people read books, some people watch TV, some people go for walks, some people paint, some people draw, some people do diamond painting, some people play board games, like, some people go for drives. There's so many things you can do, but like, if you're doing it for that reason, don't let something change that. So what should we talk about then? I think I uploaded the WIP where I told you guys about all the shows I was watching and everything else. Not fully sure about that, but did find out that From is finally coming back. And yes, the show's name is From, and I really enjoyed it. And I know Bling likes it too, so I told her when I saw that it was coming back out, that that's going to be coming back out. It's like, now the question is, do I watch it as it airs, or do I wait till it's all out, and then that way I can sit there and binge it? Because I normally like sitting and binging my episodes. I don't like it telling me when to stop watching. Also, I found with a lot of shows that you're actually better off stopping the show within the episode than waiting to the end, because the end they always put that cliffhanger. But hey, if you're like 10-20 minutes from the end, again, it depends how long your show is. Let's say you have an hour-long show. You can stop like 15 minutes before the end, and odds are you're not in a cliffhanger. You're in a, like, okay, yeah, obviously something's still going to happen, something's still going on, but you're not like dun dun dun, what's gonna happen, like literally person's hand falling off the cliff, cliffhanger. You just have the person walking along the cliff and you're like, oh, are they gonna fall? Is that where the story is going? That type thing. And again, I'm just using the cliff because that was a really easy one to refer to, somebody walking along a cliff versus stopping with their hand literally holding them on the cliff. So it's like they did in fact fall, but now are they going to fall more? Who's going to rescue? That was a really easy one to use as an example. I don't know if I've ever stopped on an actual cliffhanger like that, but I have definitely had shows that get almost to the very, very end, and in the last few minutes they throw this cliffhanger in at you, and it's like, oh, like I was curious where the story was going, but okay, I would have been okay if you ended it there, but then you had to throw that in there, and like, yeah, it's to make you want to watch more episodes to get you to come back, right? But like, I hate it. So I just prefer to binge watch all my stuff. And if binge watching means I watch an episode and a half or 5 episodes, or if I watch 20 minutes and then stop, an episode till the next episode, so I watch the rest of that episode and the next episode, like, enough! Like, that's just what I'm gonna do with it, right? It's like, I'm gonna stop the show where I think is a good place to stop it if I know that I'm running out of time to watch. So again, another reason I like using online services and not TV and stuff. I run away from TV too often, I pause too often, and I like to stop in the middle of an episode so I can come back and then get the cliffhanger and immediately see where it goes. Some shows, though, I start watching as they air, and it's like, well, I'm watching as it airs, I'm just watching as it airs, but like I probably enjoy it more if I could just binge it. So we'll see what happens with From, but I'm probably going to wait till it's all aired for another reason, because I don't pay for the channel that it's on. So if I wait till it's all aired, then I could pay for the channel for like a month, watch it, and then get rid of the channel again, Like, there's too many channels to pay for all of them all the time. I pay for your what I'd call your basic ones, your Hulu, Netflix, Prime, I pay for like your basic ones, and then Paramount's. But I watch a lot of Paramount stuff because, like, I'm watching Criminal Minds. I know I've said that before, and Criminal Minds is on Paramount. So I think there's a few other shows I watch there on Paramount. So anyway, that is another one I have because for me it makes sense to have. But most other ones I just get them to watch a show and then I stop them. Is it raining outside? Is that what I'm hearing? I'm hearing something. It doesn't sound quite right to me, but like, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with rain or wind, because it's supposed to rain. Sorry about the dogs playing, by the way. Enough! Their playing is making the other one grumpy. And or the noise outside. I think she started barking before they started playing. But she is a grumpy little lady. She doesn't like other dogs playing. She thinks it's her job to tell them to stop. So with Criminal Minds, I think I'm now on episode 7 or something like that. So I'm definitely getting somewhere. And like I said, we do pay for that channel, so. And also Criminal Minds is like one of those shows that is interesting. Like, you definitely can get caught up in it and just like watch an episode, but it's also a little bit more of one of those shows you could walk away from pieces in an episode and not really care. So you could like vacuum for a few minutes during it and not have to like pause it and restart it necessarily. And if you miss one episode, normally you're not really missing any overall story, With anime, they kind of call it like a monster of the week, because every week there's a new monster and your characters are always the same. So sometimes you have some details on your character's background because, oh, they're facing this and that reminds them of that or something, right? But most of the time it's like, well, if you miss over half the episodes that they've aired, you really don't miss any of the characters' storylines. Or you miss so little of it, like, oh, hey, he used to live in that town. We never knew that. Like, it doesn't really come into play, though. So it's like, normally with stuff like Criminal Minds and stuff, you can miss episodes and it doesn't really matter. So I also use that as a show to watch while cooking or while editing a video. I will edit a video and watch Criminal Minds at the same time. So it's just kind of a background show that sometimes an episode or something gets more interesting and then I stop and watch it, but more background. Grimm, that I'm also rewatching, which is rewatching, is a little different, where I've found certain episodes for sure. Diamond Painting, it's like, nope, I just missed a big chunk of storyline. And yes, they still have their Monster of the Week aspect, so there's some episodes you definitely could miss and not care about it. But I feel like the characters have like their personal story a lot more involved, and like a lot more of the story is revolved around that personal story. So sometimes I can watch Grimm while diamond painting or cleaning or doing something, but other times I feel like that one needs a little more attention, so I'd rather watch that one while I can sit down and watch it, maybe brush the dog while watching it, but nothing that, you know, fully distracts attention from it. So yes, I have different shows that I think of in different ways for watchability like that. And I don't know if that's a me thing or if like everybody kind of does that. Like obviously quiz shows, if you're watching a quiz show, you can't have, sometimes you need visual, but sometimes quiz shows are pretty audio and you don't have to worry about visual. But you don't want to miss, you know, a question and see the answers or something and then be like, wait, what was the question they were asking? And like, so that one you can't really have your ears too distracted. If you don't see the visuals, you might also not be able to play along with the question, and that may or may not be okay. But so yeah, again, quiz shows are one of those ones, if you're too focused on a task or if you're trying to listen to something else and listen to it, not the greatest ones to go with. Oh, there's another one we started rewatching actually. With Amazon's sale, I got Stars, so we watched quite a few movies. I got a few anime channels, and I got BritBox. So I started watching more of Would I Lie to You? Because I think it was on like season 5 or 6 or something like that, and now they have like 12 seasons or something. Again, I'm pulling all this out of thin air, and these numbers could be way off, but anyway, we have watched about half of what has aired at this point. Apparently, another half has aired since I watched it last. So, started watching Would I Lie to You again. And for anybody that doesn't know, again, it's on BritBox, so do I need to really tell you? It's kind of a comedy-ish game show, and they have a panel of 3 people. You have like your 2 leaders, which are pretty much always the same 2 people, and then you have like another 2 people that normally I think stay the same, and then you have one that tends to change out more often on each team. But you have 2 teams that are fighting each other, and like you get a prompt card, and the prompt says something random, and then whoever is reading the prompt card acts like that random thing is true and tries to tell a story about it to persuade the other team to vote true or false, or you know. And so I guess they're not trying to act like it's true per se, because you are trying to get the other team to vote like true or false or something like that, and then you get points for if you voted correctly and stuff like that. So like one of them, the one character said he's lived in this house for X amount of years and he still doesn't know what the light switch does. Totally sounds like a him thing. It's like, that probably is true, probably not one that was made up and he read, you know. Because, yeah, he totally seems like the type that would be like, I don't know what that light switch does, so I'm not going to try it. And I'm distracted. There we go. Sorry. But, yeah, there was another one where, oh, they have special guests that come on too, and the special guest will tell a story, and you have to figure out who knows the special guest, whose friend it is, or whose acquaintance, I guess is the better way to what it is. I'm gonna pause you for a second. Alright, so, surprisingly, this video has actually been going longer than I realized it was. When I paused that time, I looked up and it's like, oh, wow, okay, so I guess maybe we've had a good enough video. I was just rambling on, wasn't I? At the same time, I feel like I've said nothing again. Go me. But yeah, it's an interesting show if you have the ability to watch some of it, and I'm pretty sure some of it is on YouTube. And you like kind of skitty comedy type thing. It's not Whose Line Is It Anyway, but check out Would I Lie to You. It's kind of entertaining. I like the two host characters and the judge guy. I don't know what exactly how you want to say his role. I like all three of those characters that tend to be like main characters. They're entertaining to watch. So, and again, like I said, it's kind of like a goofy little like, oh, one day I was walking past the ice cream parlor and saw this dog on the street and found out that found his owner, and his owner was this guy, and that's why this guy is here with the dog type thing, or something. Like, one of the stories was somebody, the guy was either, so 3 people, one team gets to say their story, right? So you'll have the person that comes on the show, and this one I'm talking about, this person came on with a dog, and it's like, because that person's the dog handler, and then your 3 contestants are like, well, I know the dog because I was babysitting it. The other one's like, I know the dog because I'm a dog wedding photographer and I was at the dog's wedding. And yes, dogs actually do have weddings. And then there was like a third option, and then the other team has to vote for who was telling the truth, which of those 3 options is true, you know. Another one was like a friend, and it's like, this is my friend, I was running across the street with her when she fell down a manhole. Or, you know, this is my friend that I met taking my dog on an airplane. Or, like, it's stuff like that. And then you have to be like, well, is that the true story, or is that the true story? And then other ones are just like straight up cards that they're like, they read the card and then they have to go along with that story, whatever that story is. And that story might be true, or it might be something that was made up for them to read. And they don't know till they see the card either. So, like, right on the spot, they have to make up the story. Or remember the story if it was a true incident. So, and then sometimes they bring in objects, too, and it's like, this is my toy I had as a kid, or, you know, like, just random. So it's kind of fun, comical stuff. So I got back into watching that recently. Also, I believe it's on BritBox. I'm watching In the Dark, which I thought might have been a different version of the US In the Dark, but apparently not. So the US one is a blind lady who gets caught up in crime and with police and stuff like that. This one I'm watching now is about a pregnant cop that's boyfriend was a cop, and so, yeah, different story for sure. I don't know if anybody might want to watch it, so I don't really want to give too much away. And I think if I say any more about it right now, I would be describing too much of it. So I've only watched like the first episode or two where we got into the well, the first episode, I think, or maybe it was like an episode and a half or something, basically seemed like it was one case, and then we skipped forward a few months and it kind of seems like it's another case. But again, it is very heavily focused on our characters, so like we're developing the character's story with these two. So I don't know, so far, like I said, I'm like 3 episodes or something in. Can't really say a lot without giving something away of what I've seen in the first 2 episodes, and it's interesting. Obviously, it being like another British one again, you hear some of those terms that like you do not use in English, and it's or American English, is that what you call it? And it's just kind of sometimes fun to hear some of those. You're like, what did they just say? Oh yeah, right, that means that. Or at least that's how my brain reacts to it. Like they call cigarettes fags, right? And it's like, we definitely don't tend to use that word where I live. So like your brain just kind of hears the word sometimes, like, huh? Oh, yep, okay. Because one of the crimes, there was a cigarette butt with the body, and it's like, well, it must be that person because their cigarette butt is with the body. So their DNA is literally with the crime scene. They must have not thrown away or disposed of like everything they were working on the body with at the same time, accidentally dropped it, purposely, whatever, left it, you know. And it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, yep, those words definitely have different meanings. I remember there was like a superhero one that I watched that I liked that had a lot of that, where they were kind of heavy into some of the British slang type stuff, and you're just like, oh, they mean that, or, you know, like, oh, that word isn't a bad word type. Again, I'm not good with what is and what isn't bad words as it is to begin with, but so what was the other one? The one I was just talking about, they had superpowers. It was like a British show. I think I watched it on Hulu though. They were not community service. They were doing community service, and they ended up getting powers. Yeah. Oh. Trying to drop my bag of drills. Luckily it's a bag, so it kind of folded over on itself and I didn't lose it. But anyway, hopefully you guys can get your steampunks rolling, and hopefully you enjoy them. Again, whenever you finish them or at the end of the month, send me progress or post it on the forums or whatever. Post a video of it and let me know the link to the video. Whatever you want to do. No real rules other than like the very obvious. It's steampunk in some way. And again, I prefer something you start this month, even if you finish it in 3 months. I prefer it's started in the month that we're doing. But if it's a canvas you already have started and you have to go back and finish, then like, right? That's still, I don't really care that much. I'm not that picky, am I? I just like seeing what you guys are working on and showing you guys what I'm working on, and work on something with you guys. Like, that's all it really is. So I don't really want to throw too many rules in there for you guys. So hopefully you have a nice day, night, or morning. Hopefully your day, night, and morning continues to go well, and I definitely will have more videos for you. Next time you see a WIP and chat, it probably will be the Steampunk cat. So you guys have a nice day. Try to relax and get some paintings done.